Has already claimed the Drivers' Championship, but victory on the final round of the series would give him a record equalling 6 wins in one season. Round 14 of the WRC is the traditional sting in the tail of the championship. The Rally of Great Britain is always a tough test, with the event again based entirely in Wales. The country's capital, Cardiff, is the host city, with the 17 stages in the forests between Swansea and Llandovery. The rally's another of the classics in the championship, and it's an event every driver wants to win. The weather, though, means it's not everyone's favourite. Fog, rain and even snow make the British countryside in November an uncomfortable place to be. The man who tamed those conditions last year was that man Grunholm, and even though the world title has already been decided in his favour, that win, plus Peugeot's crushing domination of this year's series, means he starts as reluctant favourite.
Now everybody wants to win here, for sure. They are fighting for the second and third position in the World Championship, so they want to go and win. I am not sure and confident. We will see when we start the rally where we are.
The battle to finish second in the championship is a six-way affair. Two British drivers are among those six. Richard Burns, still looking for his first win for Peugeot, and on his final event before moving to Citroën, Colin McRae. Both have won their home event 3 times, although third place last year was enough to give Burns the 2001 title. The same event saw McRae crash out in a spectacular accident, but despite those very different results, both desperately want to win again this year.
There were many reasons, lots of positive reasons for trying to win this rally, and at the end of the day my motivation is to win every rally I enter, so this is one of those, but with a lot more positives.
There's a definite atmosphere that we don't have anywhere else, and obviously a lot of support, so hopefully that'll come through for us.
The other 4 drivers in the fight are Carlos Sainz for Ford, Gilles Panizzi in a Peugeot, Subaru's Peter Solberg, and yet another Peugeot driver, Fernando Mampera. There is, however, another battle this weekend to finish 4th in the Manufacturers' Championship. That's a 3-way contest between Mitsubishi, Hyundai and Skoda, all of whom have entered 3 cars. François Delacour has a new co-driver, Dominique Savignoni, after Daniel Gratalup was injured in Australia, while Great Britain may well be the last event for Kenneth Eriksson. Citroën have brought 2 cars to Wales to gain experience ready for their assault on next year's series, while there are also some entries from other forms of motorsport. Ex-Formula 1 driver Mark Blundell is in an MG.
The surface is not billiard table smooth and tarmac, and there's now trees and 50-foot drops. Co-driver on my right side is giving me a load of information which difficult for me to process because really haven't grown up with that kind of driving.
Finally, making the switch from 2 wheels to 4 is MotoGP World Champion Valentino Rossi, driving a Peugeot.
All the stages are very hard, but anyway, good and fun. It's difficult. It's very easy to make a mistake, but I think it's fun.
Confirmation of how the championship tables stand then going into the final round. Grunholm cannot be caught and is the new world champion, but just 7 points separate second place Richard Burns and Peter Solberg in 7th. So expect a terrific scrap between those 6 men over the next 3 days. It's a similar story in the Manufacturers Series, with the top 3 places already decided, and that fight for 4th set to go down to the wire. The action got underway on the Thursday evening, shortly after Richard Burns had helped switch on Cardiff's Christmas lights. A short drive then took the crews to stage 1, a head-to-head super special won by Marco Martin. Day Day.1 would then see 6 more stages, including another thrash around the Super Special. 85 cars left Cardiff, with the weather forecast promising showers and the occasional clear spell. The weather, however, sprang another of its many surprises. The day dawned dry and bright, with a clear blue sky to greet the crews. Stage 2, the rally's first proper test, was a 23-kilometre affair in the Brechfa Forest to the west of Swansea. The virtual spectator overview of the stage shows the typically British forest scenery, plus the long, fast straights. Zooming out, you can also see the hairpin bends and 90-degree junctions. All in all, a classic Welsh stage. Day 1 is always run in championship order, so it was Marcus Grönholm and co-driver Timo Rautiainen who were first into the stage. The pair were, therefore, the first to discover just how slippery the Welsh mud was. Despite that moment, the track set a blistering pace. First to try and beat the time set by the two Finns were Richard Burns and Robert Reid.
Right long, but I think we can left minus in, to mid left minus long, to flat left, 80, press.
Just half a second separated the two Peugeots. First blood to Grönholm. Colin McRae's crashed out on his last 3 attempts at this event, and so was determined to avoid a similar fate. Reuniting with Derek Ringer, the co-driver for 2 of his 3 victories, the Scot charged off into stage 2, but his bad luck was about to strike yet again.
6 crest, into 6 left over crest, 15 here, crest and turn 2 right plus.
Precious seconds would tick away until spectators could push the pair out of the ditch. Nearing the end of the stage, it becomes clear that a huge amount of time was lost.
And 6 right and long 3 left, minus opens, into 6 right, tightens over crest. And here, 4 left tightens and narrow 3 gate. What's damaged at the back?
While one Ford crew couldn't believe their poor start, others were far more fortunate. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Moyer were the 3rd fastest behind the 2 Peugeots.
Derecha buena base, tierra más, charco dentro y salida, 2. Derecha rápida de tierra más, por rasante izquierda rápida nos cortas de tierra ras.
Marco Martin and Michael Park would then be 4th quickest, losing just 0.8 of a second to their Spanish colleagues, but dropping from 1st to 3rd place as a result of the time set at 100 rounds. The 2 Subarus also suffered mixed fortunes on the stage. Peter Solberg and Phil Mills were around 5 seconds slower than the 2 Fords, the mud already starting to clear, exposing the slippery gravel underneath. Yet again, it seemed, the weather conditions were starting to favour the first few cars to the stage, the Peugeots. Tommy Mäkinen and Kai Lindstrom discovered that fact the hard way.
Kovassa risteys 100. Se kierros 120.
Fastest on the stage, but still beat Sebastian Loeb's Citroën by a little over 2 seconds. Zara's pace on asphalt isn't in question, but perhaps McRae's arrival at the French team next year will also turn into a first to be reckoned with on gravel. Valentino Rossi's first forestry stage in the Peugeot must have come as a shock to the motorbike ace. Despite having the experienced Carlo Cassina alongside him, 3 kilometres before the end of the stage, his rally came to an end.
650, sinistra 6, lunga lunga, per attenzione sinistra 3, piano lì vale, lunga lunga, lì sinistra 3. Porco zio, allora, no, piano piano, piano. Vai.
The car was undamaged, but no spectators to help them meant the Italian pair were out. Let's call in the virtual spectator to compare the performances of the two quickest men through the stage, Gronholm and Burns. The pair are fairly evenly matched, with the Finn slightly ahead, but then he makes his slight mistake and allows his English teammate to slip ahead. By the time the pair would reach the end of the stage, however, Gronholm will have made up that time again to finish half a second ahead of Burns, with Sainz, the best of the rest, around 12 seconds down. So the rally's first leaderboard looked like this. The Peugeot 1-2 was familiar enough, followed by the two Fords of Martin and Sainz, Solberg 5th and Harry Rovanpera 6th. Another Ford driven by Mark Higgins led the chasing pack, while Mackinnon was 8th after those two spins. Stage 3 transcoiled at nearly 28 kilometres and the sun was still shining, but in the valleys there was mist hanging in the trees. Was again flying, but was again also finding just how little grip there was.
8 huomio vasemmalle 3, vasen hidas. Oikein nopea, sumpuu. 8.
Some of the pressure was about to be taken off the world champion though, when Richard Burns discovered it was his turn to lose time.
Right max 40, slight right, 100 braking, fast right minus, 20 medium right, in, to fast right,
The incident itself cost only around 10 seconds or so, but the look on Burns' face suggests all isn't well with the car. Co-driver Reed has the answer.
Slight right, 30, slight right, go 100, slight right long, 80, right max in, I think the exhaust may be blocked, 120, slight left, 70.
The exhaust was indeed blocked, and the pair would lose over a minute and a half as they limped out of the stage.
Great.
The pair who'd lost over a minute on the previous stage, Clay and Rigger, would claw their way back up to 10th place after setting the 5th quickest time.
Into left, times to 4 plus, 30. 6 left. And right times to 4 plus, cut.
Fourth fastest, Sainz was still 4th overall. His only driver was losing the door mirror after clipping a tree. Others weren't so fortunate. Rovanpera complaining of clutch and turbo problems. Plus there was the small matter of the Welsh mud to worry about. Lost by Richard Burns meant others would move up the order. Petter Solberg just one of those who benefited, despite the low sun making driving difficult at times.
Minus long, opens keep in 40, line into 10, very slippy, 2 left minus half long, tightens 1 plus tightens. 80. Line into 2, right minus tightens, 1 tightens. To crest, and 3 left half long, opens to 4 long.
So the Norwegian had moved up into 3rd, while the spectacular Marco Martin showed just why Ford are placing their faith in him next season, by also taking full advantage of Burns' misfortune.
70, 2 plus right, 30, 4 plus left, very long. The sun is terrible, huh? Yeah.
On what may well be his last rally, Kenneth Eriksson was alone 15th, a long way away from the points Skoda so desperately need.
Marcus, 3 stages completed now. You've got almost a 30-second lead, but a few big moments for you this morning.
Yeah, so there were some places where I was wide, but okay. small moment, but not so big.
Was there less grip than you expected?
Yeah, it was less grip and it was really difficult. Sometimes you had the grip and sometimes no.
Richard, a less than ideal start. What happened on stage 3?
Oh, the first stage 2 was quite good. We did a very similar time to Marcus, but then the third one, quite near the start, I braked too late for a corner, went off on the outside into some grass, and there was a bit of a earth bank in there, and it flattened the exhaust, so no power.
Slippier than you expected out there this morning?
No, I mean, it's just very inconsistent, that's the problem. You know, places there is a reasonable amount of grip, and other places there's none, so it's just trying to find that, and it's very difficult.
It's going to take a miracle to get back in contention now.
Just about, yeah.
Are you surprised to be beating Colin McRae on his home rally?
I mean, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised, yeah, that we are second overall at the moment, but I mean, it's very close, so it's going to be... And this long rally is nothing decided. I'm sure it's all action all the time.
Stage 4 was due to be a rerun of Stage 2, but concerns over safety meant overcautious organisers cancelled the stage.
SS4 is cancelled. Go to the start and they will give you fresh instructions.
Happily, Stage 5, a repeat of the event's third test, was able to run as planned. By now, with the entire field having passed over the stage once, the mud had all but cleared, the stones underneath were extremely slippery. Rodham discovered just how slippery, in exactly the same place Burns had been caught out in the morning. Burns was keen to avoid falling into the same trap in the afternoon, but a hydraulic leak didn't help his time, and he was just 5th quickest.
40, easy left minus cut long 60, medium right tightens to slow K right long, to slow K right long 80, left max 30.
Very slippy.
Incredibly.
Third fastest, McRae would end the stage in 8th place, less than 9 seconds ahead of Burns, and he too was frustrated at the conditions.
Colin, Marks and Richard said it's really slippy, slippier than this morning.
Yeah, where the mud's cleaned off the road, it's very slippy on the stone, so it's a bit like ice in there.
Sainz was one of a number of drivers who'd made a poor tyre choice. Expecting mud, the Spaniard had opted for a hard compound with more open cuts, and was just 7th fastest as a result. The clock on the right shows that Harry Rovanpera jumped the start, picking up a 10-second penalty. It's clear that both Rovanpera and his co-driver Risto Niemelainen noticed the mistake. Peter Solberg's problems came a little later in the stage. Phil Mills deciding things look a lot worse than they actually are. Despite that moment, a poor tyre choice and an upset stomach, Solberg was on the attack.
And 3 left half long, opens 4. Oh. Wow. That was the wrong tyre choice, Phil.
That's slippery. Very slippery.
But with the man ahead of him, Marco Martin, find it equally as slippery.
34 plus left, very long.
Indeed he would, so Martin would drop to 3rd behind Solberg, while Mäkinen in the other Impreza was now only 10 seconds away from snatching 6th, thanks to Rovanpera's jump start. Freddie Lloyd's now headed the battle to finish 4th in the manufacturers' table. The Hyundai was still outside the points though, in the 11th place. Jani Pärssinen almost ended his challenge on the stage. The Finn, though, would continue his bid to score points for Mitsubishi.
Norway versus Estonia. You've just got a 2-second lead over Marco now. It's been a big battle this morning.
Yeah, it's been very good. You know, it's going to still be a very tough end of the day also, and I'm trying a new set of tires now, so we will see how it goes. I mean, it's very close with Petra, but it's not only Petra. I mean, there's other drivers. There's many other drivers are trying to get the second place.
What happened with the tyre choice? Why was it difficult for you?
We were expecting more mud, and then actually it was not so muddy, and then we cut it a little bit too much, going for mechanical grip, but didn't work.
It's one small piece broken in my handbrakes, and that is okay. That was my mistake. Is I tried to take out that piece in my hand, and the car moved on the ruts and clutch is ready up. It is just 2-3 seconds before start and car moving, and that happens.
Welcome to Walters Arena, a new innovation this year in the Rally GB. It's a purpose-built spectator area, a part of Riola Forest. There's many loops with jumps and crests, where the spectators can watch the cars for up to 1 minute.
Walters Arena had drawn a huge crowd, and the first car they saw was the Peugeot 206 of a relaxed Marcus Grönholm. So relaxed, he even had time to wave to our cameraman.
8 ja oikealle vasen hidas. 5. Vasen nopea. 5. Vasen laita oikein eri. Jatkuu oikein hidas risteys. 7. Ja vasen nopea. Jatkuu vasen eri kirraa.
Grönholm and Rautiainen had been fastest on every stage run so far today, but could Richard Burns and Robert Reid end that winning streak?
50 right max, 60 flat left of a crest narrows, 40.
With the third Peugeot, Harry Rovanperä would find the Riola Forest just as slippery as the other stages.
5. Pitkä oikein eri plus sisältä.
Colin McRae and Derek Ringer would be 5th quickest, to the delight of the crowds in Walters Arena. Sainz will be a little over second slower than his teammate. Will start day 2 in 4th place. Mäkinen will start day 2 in 6th place, a little over 3 seconds away from grabbing 5th from Rovanperä. But the biggest battle among the top 6 was the one for 2nd place. Solberg again thought he'd chosen the wrong tyre and was worried that Martin might snatch 2nd back again. After such a frustrating season, a good end to the year was a priority. Martin, though, is just as determined as Solberg to end the year on a high.
20, tarmac, 5 minus left slow, close. 50, 6 minus left in. 30, easy right, 30, crest 5 left.
Solberg was quicker, but only just. With only the super special to run, this was how things stood. Grönholm already had a massive lead, with Solberg and Martin just 2.2 seconds apart. Sainz, Rovanperä and Mäkinen rounded off the top 6, with McRae still ahead of Burns, and Loix leading Hyundai's challenge in 11th place.
Marcus, end of day 1, you've won every single stage today, you must be very happy.
Yeah, it could be more nice to have a good battle, but okay.
No complaints. It's behind Marcus, but once again.
You're ready for a big fight with Petter Solberg tomorrow?
It's not going to be just Petter and me. It's Carlos is so close and everybody else. It's a long way to go.
After Valentino Rossi's retirement on stage 2, the honour of representing the other motorsports had passed to Mark Blundell, but he too wouldn't reach day 2, the MG going out with mechanical failure.
You know, it's such a different discipline. The fact that, you know, you're on gravel, mud, tarmac, you've got all the variations in conditions, you haven't got a single lap there which has got the same corners every time you come round, and the big thing for me is that the car moves around. and that's alien to me. I've been used to a car with aerodynamics and being very constant. And, you know, I'll push into an oval at 240 miles an hour, not a problem. But you stick me on a forest, 20-foot drop and trees the other side, you know, it spooks me slightly because I'm not used to it. But big difference, but great fun. Most fun I've had behind a steering wheel in many, many years.
What are your thoughts on the likes of Gronholm, McRae, these big guys that rally year on, year out? What are your thoughts about those guys?
I think they're probably some of the best drivers in the world.
It already looks as though the best of the best, Marcus Gronholm, is on course for his 6th victory of the year, leap on the record set by Didier Auriol in 1994. Day 2, however, sees the top 15 run in reverse order, so conditions shouldn't be as favourable for the new world champion. Join us again tomorrow for highlights of the day's 6 stages, but for the time being, from Wales, good night.